In the world of hip-hop, Snoop Dogg is a living legend. His smooth flow, infectious beats, and larger-than-life persona have made him a household name. But behind the scenes, away from the limelight and the adoring fans, Snoop's personal life has been anything but smooth. His marriage to high school sweetheart Shante Broadus has weathered more storms than most, marked by public scandals, infidelity rumors, and even a near divorce. Yet, through it all, they've managed to stay together, building a family and an empire that stood the test of time. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal the untold story of Snoop Dogg's rocky marriage, how love, loyalty, and a whole lot of resilience have kept them going, even when the world was betting against them. This is the untold story of Snoop Dogg's marriage, raw, real. Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr. on October 20, 1971, in Long Beach, California, is a multifaceted figure in the entertainment industry. He is renowned as a West Coast rapper, singer, songwriter, producer, media personality, businessman, and actor. His journey to stardom, however, is not just a tale of success but also one of struggle, resilience, and transformation. From a young age, Calvin was acutely aware of his family's financial challenges. To help make ends meet, he took on various odd jobs, including selling candy, delivering newspapers, and bagging groceries. Despite these hardships, his mother worked tirelessly to keep him on the right path, encouraging his involvement in positive activities such as singing in the church choir and playing football. Yet, as Calvin transitioned into his teenage years, he found himself increasingly drawn to the streets of Long Beach, where he began to rebel against his mother's efforts. By the late 1980s, while attending Long Beach Polytechnic High School, Snoop's rebellious streak became more pronounced. As a 10th grader, he and his friends caused a stir during the school's Halloween pageant by dressing up as prostitutes, with a female classmate volunteering to be paraded across the stage in chains. In a later interview with Rolling Stone, Snoop reflected on this incident as his first real taste of the lifestyle he had idolized throughout his childhood. But before he could fully embrace that dream, life had other plans for him. It was during a high school football game that Snoop's life took a pivotal turn. There, he met his classmate Shante Taylor, a young woman who would eventually become a significant figure in his life. Snoop was immediately captivated by Shante's beauty and approached her, hoping to spark a connection. While Shante noticed him, she was wary of the company he kept. Snoop was, at the time, a member of the Rollin' Twenties Crips, a notorious gang in Long Beach's East Side neighborhood. Despite his mother's best efforts to keep him out of trouble, Snoop was deeply entrenched in gang life, spending his time selling drugs and engaging in other illegal activities when he wasn't performing at local house parties. Shante's initial rejection did little to deter Snoop's interest. A month after their first encounter, Snoop showed up at Shante's door, determined to win her over. He claimed he was distancing himself from the Crips and was serious about pursuing a relationship with her. In an interview with Vlad TV, Snoop recounted how he had to prove his commitment. "I had to go there and meet her mom," he explained. "I had to go there and date her for like 4 months before I could kiss her. I had to call her. I had to write love letters." His persistence paid off, and the two eventually went to prom together, a moment that Snoop frequently commemorates on social media to this day. However, despite Snoop's efforts to turn over a new leaf, his past continued to cast a long shadow over his life and relationship with Shante. The allure of his old lifestyle and the consequences of his earlier choices would bring challenges and heartache in the years that followed. Shortly after graduating from Long Beach Polytechnic High School in 1989, Snoop Dogg faced one of the darkest periods of his life. His involvement in the street life had deepened, and it wasn't long before it caught up with him. Arrested for cocaine possession, Snoop spent the next 3 years entangled in the criminal justice system, including time served at Wayside Prison. This was a pivotal period for Snoop, one that would test not only his resilience but also the strength of his relationship with Shante Taylor, the woman who stood by him through thick and thin. Despite the turmoil and danger that surrounded him, Shante remained unwavering in her support, visiting him in prison and offering the emotional stability he desperately needed. Around 1990, while still grappling with the consequences of his actions, Snoop began to channel his energy into a creative outlet. Alongside his cousins, Nate Dogg and Lil, One Half Dead, and their close friend Warren G., Snoop started recording homemade tapes. This group of aspiring musicians called themselves 213. named after the Long Beach area code. These early recordings were raw and unpolished, yet they contained the seeds of what would become a revolutionary sound in hip-hop. One of Snoop's first solo freestyles, Hold On, featured on a mixtape that would change his life forever. The mixtape eventually made its way into the hands of Dr. Dre, a founding member of the pioneering rap group NWA. Dr. Dre was immediately captivated by Snoop's unique style, his smooth, laid-back delivery, combined with a voice that commanded attention. Recognizing the potential, Dr. Dre invited Snoop to audition, marking the beginning of a transformative relationship in the world of music. Dre introduced Snoop to the Doc, an NWA affiliate known for his lyrical prowess. Under the Doc's guidance, Snoop learned how to structure his lyrics, crafting verses, choruses, and hooks with a precision that would become his trademark. With a new sense of purpose, Snoop moved to Hollywood, determined to launch his career. His music began to resonate with hip-hop fans who were drawn to his relaxed flow and authentic storytelling. It wasn't long before Snoop signed with Death Row Records, where Shante, ever the supportive partner, managed him during the early years of his career. Snoop's partnership with Dr. Dre proved to be a game-changer. They collaborated on the theme song for the 1992 film Deep Cover, a track that introduced Snoop to a broader audience. This was quickly followed by Dr. Dre's debut solo album, The Chronic, where Snoop's contributions, alongside other members of Da Dog Pound, became iconic. The exposure Snoop received from these projects set the stage for his own debut album, Doggy Style, released in 1993. The album was an instant success, debuting at number 1 on both the Billboard 200 and the Billboard Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums charts. Doggy Style spawned several hit singles, including What's My Name and Gin and Juice, tracks that have since become synonymous with the West Coast rap sound. Snoop Dogg was now a household name, and his influence on the genre was undeniable. In 1994, as Snoop's career continued to soar, he and Shante welcomed their first child, a son named Corday. Despite the demands of his burgeoning career, Snoop remained devoted to his family, finding a balance between his responsibilities as a father and his life in the spotlight. In 1996, Snoop released his final album on Death Row Records, The Dogfather. Though it didn't achieve the same level of success as his debut, the album still made an impact, featuring collaborations with artists like Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band. February 1997 marked another significant chapter in Snoop's life. He and Shante welcomed their second child, Cordell, into the world. That same year, the couple decided to formalize their relationship, tying the knot in a ceremony that should have been a joyous occasion. However, not everyone shared in their happiness. A woman named Lori Holman, who had been romantically involved with Snoop, was reportedly devastated by the news of his marriage to Shante. Lori Holman's relationship with Snoop Dogg began like many high school romances. They quickly became close friends at Long Beach Polytechnic High School, and their bond soon evolved into a deeper connection. The two young lovers found themselves inseparable, sharing the intense emotions that often accompany first love. However, after high school, life took them in different directions. Although they lived apart, they maintained their connection, keeping in touch even as they pursued separate paths. For Lori, Snoop was more than just a high school boyfriend. He was someone she trusted and cared for deeply. So it was a shock when, in June 1997, she learned through the media that Snoop had married another woman, Shante Taylor. The news was unexpected and devastating. Unable to believe what she had heard, Lori reached out to Snoop for confirmation. When the rapper verified the news, Lori's world was turned upside down. Despite her disbelief and hurt, Lori felt compelled to confront Snoop in person. She arranged a private meeting with him, hoping to make sense of what had happened. The rapper agreed to see her, and what was intended to be a final conversation turned into something more. Old feelings resurfaced, and one thing led to another. 9 months later, Lori gave birth to a child, Julian Corey Broadus, the result of their last encounter. Snoop, despite the complicated circumstances, took responsibility as a father. He was present at the birth of his child and made sure that Lori and the baby were well taken care of. He covered the hospital bills, a gesture that Lori took as proof that he was committed to being a responsible father, even if their relationship had taken an unexpected turn. However, breaking the news to his wife, Shante, was a far more challenging task. The revelation of his infidelity would undoubtedly strain their marriage, adding tension to an already complex relationship. During this period, the world around Snoop was changing as well. The deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, two iconic figures in the hip-hop world, marked the tragic culmination of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. The violence and loss associated with this feud deeply affected Snoop. It became a turning point in his life, leading him to reevaluate his choices. Deciding to leave behind the gangster lifestyle that had once defined him, Snoop parted ways with Death Row Records and signed with Master P's No Limit Records, seeking a fresh start and a new direction for his career. In 1999, as Snoop continued to navigate his personal and professional life, Shante gave birth to their daughter, Corey. The birth of his daughter marked a significant moment for Snoop, reinforcing his commitment to his family. However, the complexities of his past and his ongoing journey of self-discovery continued to shape his life. Around this time, Snoop met Bishop Don Magic Juan, a former Chicago pimp who had turned to religion and become a pastor. The two formed a close friendship, and Bishop Don Magic Juan's influence brought Snoop closer to the pimp lifestyle that had always intrigued him. This connection would have a lasting impact on Snoop, as he began to explore this persona more openly in his public life. As Snoop's career progressed, he expanded his horizons beyond music. He ventured into acting, taking on roles that allowed him to showcase his charisma and unique style. He also released several more albums under No Limit Records, solidifying his place in the hip-hop industry. Eventually, Snoop took his career into his own hands by launching his own record label, Doggy Style Records, Inc. This move allowed him greater creative control and the opportunity to shape his legacy on his terms. Snoop Dogg made headlines for a highly unconventional and controversial public appearance at the MTV Awards in 2003. Accompanied by two women on leashes, Snoop announced his foray into a new and provocative business venture. This act was more than just a spectacle, it was a declaration of his entry into the world of pimping, a persona he had long admired. Snoop's dramatic reveal was part of a broader exploration of a lifestyle he had been fascinated by since his youth. Guided by influential figures such as Bishop Don Magic Juan, a former Chicago pimp turned pastor, and actor Max Julien, who famously portrayed Goldie in the film The Mac, Snoop ventured into the pimping business with a mix of flamboyance and seriousness. In interviews, Snoop described his new business with a sense of pride and excitement. "I was on tour for Playboy, and I had a busload of 10 prostitutes following me," he told Rolling Stone. "That was my show." This extravagant lifestyle was both a personal indulgence and a public performance, blending Snoop's love for showmanship with a lifelong fascination with the pimping world. Snoop laid down strict rules for his operation, ensuring that his women adhered to a specific code of conduct. They were instructed never to talk back, always to be paid up front, avoid eye contact with other pimps, and keep their heads down. His clientele primarily consisted of professional athletes, who would select a woman and then be given a substantial amount of money. Despite the ostentatious nature of his business, Snoop claimed that his involvement was not driven by financial gain. Instead, he viewed it as a way to live out a long-held dream. Publicly, he would take money from the women, but he revealed to Rolling Stone that he would return it to them in private. For Snoop, it was more about fulfilling a personal fantasy than accumulating wealth. This new venture allowed Snoop to distance himself from the drama and legal troubles that had previously plagued him. Rather than engaging in conflicts or legal issues, he focused on attending events like the Players Pimps Convention and accompanying Bishop Don Magic Juan to hair appointments. Bishop Don Magic Juan played a crucial role in Snoop's life during this period, serving as a mentor and guide, helping him navigate the complexities of his new career while also providing companionship. However, the impact of Snoop's lifestyle on his personal life was significant. Shante Taylor, Snoop's wife, initially tolerated his new venture, understanding that it was a passion of his since childhood. Yet, the strain on their marriage became evident over time. The constant pressure and temptation surrounding Snoop's pimping activities began to take a toll. In a collaboration with 50 Cent on the Pimp remix, Snoop's involvement in the lifestyle became even more public. In an interview with Vlad TV, Snoop admitted to developing feelings for one of the women working for him, further complicating his personal relationships. By May 2004, the strain on his marriage became untenable, and Snoop filed for divorce from Shante. In an interview with Sister to Sister magazine, Shante expressed her understanding of the situation, attributing the breakdown to the overwhelming pressures and temptations that Snoop faced. She also placed some blame on the women involved, suggesting that their attempts to seduce Snoop exacerbated the issues in their marriage. But by the end of 2004, the situation reached a turning point. Snoop received advice from brokers who urged him to reconsider his lifestyle and return to his family. The consensus was clear: the glamour of the pimping world was not worth the cost of his marriage and personal well-being. In a heartfelt interview with the late Larry King, Snoop Dogg opened up about the effort he invested in mending his relationship with his wife, Shante Taylor. Acknowledging the gravity of his past mistakes, Snoop revealed that he had to beg and plead to convince Shante to give their marriage another chance. Snoop recognized that rebuilding trust would not be easy, and he understood that words alone would not suffice. He expressed his renewed love for Shante in an interview with MTV, sharing his desire to repair the damage and restore their family unit. Snoop took a profound step by sitting down with his children and admitting his mistakes, demonstrating his commitment to family values and his intention to be a present and responsible father. In a dramatic gesture to reaffirm his dedication, Snoop tore up the divorce papers, signaling his resolve to rebuild his marriage. The culmination of his efforts came in January 2008 when he orchestrated a surprise vow renewal ceremony for Shante at Charlie Wilson's ranch. This romantic and symbolic act was intended to renew their commitment and signal a fresh start for their relationship. That same year, Snoop Dogg and Shante expanded their public presence by starring in a reality TV show titled Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood. The show offered a glimpse into their family life, showcasing Snoop's role as a father and husband. However, the show's debut brought unexpected drama from within their own family. Julian Corey Broadus, Snoop's son from a previous relationship with Lori Holman, expressed his frustration over being excluded from the reality show. At just 9 years old, Julian was visibly upset about not being featured on the show and felt hurt by the family's public portrayal. His mother, Lori Holman, took their story to Star magazine, revealing the tensions and estrangement between Snoop and Julian. The publication included paternity test results to confirm Snoop's identity as Julian's father, highlighting the strained relationship that had persisted for 5 years. Despite Julian's anger and the strained relationship, he had spent considerable time with Snoop's mother, indicating that connections within the broader family network remained. The revelation of this estrangement and Julian's public outcry added a layer of complexity to the narrative of Snoop's family life, showcasing the difficulties and challenges inherent in blending families and managing public personas. As the years went by, Snoop Dogg's relationship with his wife, Shante Taylor, faced new challenges. In 2019, rumors began circulating that Snoop had been unfaithful to Shante once again, this time with Instagram model Selena Powell. The speculation was fueled by Selena herself, who posted screenshots of alleged text messages between her and Snoop, claiming that they had exchanged intimate photos. The allegations were met with a swift response from Snoop Dogg. To address the situation, he released a promotional video for his new show, Clout Chasers. The video included a clip of Selena from DJ Academic's online series, where she had previously admitted to fabricating a story about another rapper, Offset of Migos, being involved in a scandal. Snoop's strategy was to use Selena's own deceit as a way to illustrate the falsehoods and sensationalism prevalent in celebrity gossip. He claimed that his interactions with her were merely to use her as an example for his show, rather than any serious involvement. Despite this public spat, Snoop Dogg did not shy away from addressing his personal mistakes directly. In a poignant move, he issued an apology to Shante through a remix of Problem's song, Don't Be Mad at Me, which featured Freddie Gibbs. In the remix, Snoop expressed deep remorse and shame for almost losing Shante due to his indiscretions, acknowledging that his behavior had caused significant hurt. His lyrics conveyed a heartfelt regret for his actions and an appreciation for his wife's enduring support, referring to her as his queen and lamenting his lapse in judgment. The apology seemed to resonate with Shante, as she chose to stand by Snoop's side despite the turmoil. Their relationship appeared to strengthen in the wake of these challenges, with Snoop making a significant gesture to demonstrate his commitment. In June 2021, he took a step to integrate Shante more formally into his professional life by hiring her as his official manager through her company, Boss Lady Entertainment. In his statement, Snoop acknowledged Shante's crucial role in his career, saying, Shante has guided my career from behind the scenes since day one. I wouldn't be where I am today without her. This move signified not only a personal commitment but also a professional partnership, underscoring the depth of their renewed bond. Snoop continued to make strides in his music career, releasing his 18th studio album, From the Streets to the Suites, in 2021. The album received positive reviews from critics, reflecting Snoop's ongoing relevance and creative vitality in the music industry. In addition to his music, Snoop was appointed as the executive creative and strategic advisor at Def Jam, further solidifying his influence in the entertainment world. Meanwhile, Shante announced plans to release a biography titled Pay the Cost to be the Boss Lady in 2021, which would offer an in-depth look into her life and experiences. As they navigated these professional and personal developments, their family life continued to evolve. Their children were growing up, and Shante and Snoop took joy in their grandchildren, celebrating their 24th wedding anniversary in June 2021. This milestone was a testament to their enduring commitment to each other despite the ups and downs of their journey. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Your engagement helps keep the conversation going and supports the creation of more in-depth videos. Thanks for watching and being a part of this journey.